I do when I bring Sam up here. I'm 31 years old. I've been with my wife for 12 years. Yes, I was 19 when I proposed to her. For 12 years, I have not had relationships with my bloodlines. I am a deviant. I am the spawn of Satan.
Yeah!
It's very heartbreaking, though, to lose the people that you think are always going to be there for you, that think that they have your back, and they're gone. They don't. So for the longest time, I had my wife and her small family. And then 4 years ago, two very special people came into my life, in our life. And that was Sam and Amy. And from day one, they always treated us with respect. There was always a kindred relationship always there between us. She is my best friend. She is my big sister. I love to call her my big sister. I always wanted a big sister to bug the shit out of. I love her. She's my best friend. This is Sam Williams. And her wife, really, they're both our best friends. This is my family. And I know it's a family that I'll have to the end because it's a true family. I love you. You stupid twit, I'm going to have a hard time with the speech. Told you I love you too, Amanda.
First of all, thank you, Get Equal Texas. Not just for this, but for everything over the last couple of years where we seem to keep crossing your paths. And I hope to pay you back, at least in some small fraction for what you've done for us and for the community. Thank you, Michael. But I don't know you as much because you put me on the news. So that takes ticks away. Thank you, Amy, for putting up with everything I put you through over this weekend. But it's for you too, you know. Thank you, Tiffany Bishop, because without you, I would never think I had the strength to do this.
You're awesome, Sammy!
I'm a blimmin' rock star, man. I'm not a public speaker. I'm gonna cry. I'm just warning you now. But I was told to look up and to the right, and that would help. So if you keep see me doing that, that's what I'm trying to not cry. I totally trashed the speech that I've been working on for 2 weeks because I got a teachable moment yesterday at the conference, and I'm hoping this is better. And it's kind of fitting a theme that I'm seeing growing. So I hope this works. Yeah. Come out wherever you are. Every time I hear that, I think about playing hide and seek when I was a kid. You know, ollie ollie, oxen free. That, come out of your hiding places. You're safe, free. I stopped playing that game when I was about 12 years old. It's about the same time that I had my first crush on a girl. And I told her all about it when I was 30. I hid well until I had been married and divorced and had 2 kids, because this world doesn't exactly scream ollie ollie oxen free, now does it? I was afraid. I was afraid of judgment, of losing friends, even afraid of being physically hurt. And I would get so upset with people and with political groups that insisted that people like me and politicians and celebrities come out of the closet. And I thought, you know, screw you, it's none of your business. Fast forward. You know, as I get older, I lose more and more of my color seemingly every day. I don't know where it's going. And I keep having people ask me, what are you? You know, I love it when they say, what nationality are you? And I'm always like, American. I'm a patchwork quilt, man. I'm like a good stew. I'm a little bit of a lot of things. I'm African American, Irish, German, Native American. But when I look at myself, I see black. So I identify as black. I had a grandfather who was Native American, but he lived in a time where it was actually better to be black than it was to be Native. Look up the Native Citizenship Act of 1924, and you'll understand that. He didn't want the government to relocate him, so he shaved his head and he lived among black people. He hid his heritage, not because he was ashamed of it, but because he was afraid of what it would cost him. His freedom, his wife, his kids. Around the same time in our history, in this country, a lot of black people with mixed heritage were passing for white as well. When the alternative is discrimination, beatings, lynchings, knowing that in some parts of this free nation, just walking out of the house being who you are meant putting your life into somebody else's hands. You have to put aside right and wrong labels and understand that people just want to survive. My own mother was among those people. And still now in the land of the free, if you're queer, walking out of the house being who you are can mean putting your life into someone else's hands. So we duck and dive and shuffle and we're out to our friends but not at work. Or at work but not at school. Or at school but not at home. What a confusing, unfair, mixed up, screwed up way we are forced to live our lives. And when I finally made the decision to come out, I went full Monty. I was out at home, work, to my family, to my neighbors. I didn't give a damn anymore. I was done living in the closet. And that first step was really, really hard. But the fresh air was so incredible. I just wanted to keep breathing. And I did lose friends. But I also gained friends with whom I could be my true self. And that felt great. The only downside was that I found myself in another closet of sorts. Suddenly, all my friends, co-workers, anyone I associated with outside of my family was queer. I looked around one day and I thought, how the hell did that happen? But I was safe, right? One day, I got a Courage Campaign email from this guy who used to pound the pavement for the National Organization for Marriage. Those guys. He said that being out there campaigning and running into Courage Campaign people was the best thing that ever happened to him because he saw queer people as just people. And so now he's working for our side. And I can totally relate. Because a year and a half ago, Amy and I moved. And I kid you not, we moved across the street from Boomhauer himself. He talks like him, he dresses like him, and he loves that cold beer in the evening. Normally, I'd be having guerrilla warfare flashbacks and screaming, redneck, hit the deck! But this man, the day we moved in, he came across the street and he stuck out his hand and he shook mine and he said, how do, neighbor? My name's Kevin. My wife Jeannie and I live across the street. If you need anything, you let us know. And from that moment on, he shared his home, his incredible cooking, his beautiful family, and not to mention quite a few of those cold beers with us every day since September of 2010, and they have become some of our best friends. They're here tonight with their children. They even spent time with us at our favorite LGBT campground. Kevin working the grill, raising money for a lesbian friend of ours who was battling cancer. And they seemed so at home there that the conversation we had with him a couple of days later took us completely by surprise. He said that if you asked him a year ago if he'd be hanging out with queer people, he'd have said, hell no. But that being across the street from us and getting to know us as neighbors and friends had opened his eyes. And what he didn't know is that he'd done the same thing for us. That we were just as guilty of running and hiding from something we thought was a threat. But now, because of him, we intend to meet those threats head on because every once in a while, it can become a promise. So I guess what I'm saying is now I know the importance of coming out. I'm not talking over you.
Yes, hello APD, we're here.
It isn't just for yourself or to give others the courage to do so. It is to put a real human face on homosexuality. Your teacher, your doctor, neighbor, your brother, so that people can see us as just people. And like my neighbor, their eyes can be opened, and our eyes can be opened to the promise of our potential allies. Introduce your true self to someone today, no matter who or what you are. Increase the normality of the broad spectrum of humanity. Then we can finally say, LGBTQI people and allies, come out, wherever you are. Ally, ally, oxen free. I love you, no X.